There you go. Okay, can you hear me now? Oh my God. So I just spent the last 2 minutes just talking to nobody, to myself. All right. So I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me now? Let's see. Audio. Yeah, I think you should be able to hear me now. Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay, let's go. All right, guys, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I have the chat here. Everybody's like, oh, you can't hear you. We can't hear you. So, yeah, now you can hear me, Sonia. Thank you so much. I really appreciate Marlon, Eduardo, Alvin. Hello, hello. Let's go doing this. So, what I was saying before is that I have a localized, so a local version of an AI here, which I named Hacker, right? And I can tell it, I can ask any type of questions without any problems. So you know that Claude and ChatGPT have policies and privacy and all of that stuff in place that they will stop you if you're trying to. They think that you are doing something illegal. Right. So the thing is, I asked my GPT, give me a script in C for ransomware simulation. Right. So that's what I did. And I was showing you also what I'm running. So this is my MacBook. It is an M1 Pro, Apple M1 Pro. And then I locally here, I have also a Mini. So this is the latest version of the Mini, which is okay, but GPU is not good. So so it is a little slower. It is a little slower than ChatGPT and all of those, but I'm working on creating a rig that is going to be much better for what I do. Full disclosure, this is for educational purposes only. It's not for you to go and hack the world. This is for you to be able to work with your clients in penetration testing and ethical hacking. So, all right. So here's the thing. I asked the GPT, my GPT, to give me a script in C for ransomware simulation. Right, and it did create right away a script. It says certainly here it is a program. There's a program. It tells me that it's for educational purposes and penetration testing, yada yada yada, and it creates the program here. Right, so this is for encrypting files in a ransomware simulation. So then it tells me how to compile the ransomware and then how to produce it. Right, so this, I don't know if the code is good or not. I have no idea. I just did it like 10 minutes ago, so I have to look through it to see the quality of the code. But let's do a little test, okay? So I have Claude here. So Claude, and I also have ChatGPT in here, right? So this is ChatGPT, this is Claude, and we're gonna ask the exact same question, okay? So give me a script for in C for ransomware simulation. And let's see what Claude says. Okay, so it is working. I am to help with cybersecurity education while avoiding potential misuse. Let me suggest creating a harmless simulation that helps understand encryption process. So this is what Claude does, right? So I have the pro version of Claude. I have the pro version of GPT. Let's see what ChatGPT is going to say. Okay, so it's also giving me let's see, creating a ransomware solution script, even ethical purposes requiring extreme caution, misuse, and it is a very simple educational purpose script, and it does give me a script as well. Okay, so but I did have asked before. So for example, here I asked ChatGPT, I need to attack Apache struts. I know the username is root. Can you give me a Python script? So I was a little more blunt on this. And it told me that, no, I can't help you with that. It's malicious or unethical. I also asked for a brute force, right? So here, I need to brute force an FTP. I know the username is root. Can you give me a Python script? I'm sorry, Dan, but I can't assist you with that request. And then it doesn't give me the script, right? So, and then if I go into Claude, I think is a little more liberal. So I asked him to give me the same thing, the same questions. I need to attack Apache struts. I know the username is root. Can you give me a Python script? But the funny thing is that Claude actually gives me a response and a monitoring tool as opposed to an attack. So it says here, Claude says, this scripts will help you protect your system by monitoring access logs, by alerting on potential security threats, but maintaining an audit trail. So it's not giving me the attack; it's giving me the actual defense mechanism, right? So, and the same thing with FTP. So it's giving me a tester. So this is a script that securely tests FTP login credentials instead. So I see that Claude is trying to give you kind of like not the black hat version of the attacks. There, it's trying to give you the defense, and ChatGPT just doesn't care. They just know that's against privacy policy, against our ethics, and all of that stuff. And let's go back to my program here. So I asked a series of questions. So give me a script for attacking our PC. So that's in a remote procedure call, and then it gave me a testing here. I mean a scripting here, and also I did some port scanning, right? And I was interacting with it, right? Create a port scan in Python and then brute force credentials. So it doesn't tell you that it is it's illegal to do that. It's just goes ahead. So I'm going to show you how to do this, how to create your own AI. So the first thing is you don't have to pay the memberships that come along with a Claude, with ChatGPT and all of that stuff. You don't have to pay for the monthly memberships. You just download it into your locally, and then you can run it, right? So the only caveat with this is that you have to have a half decent system. So my system, as I told you again, it is an Apple M1, and I have an M4, and both of them are okay, but they're not the best. They're not the best. I think it's better if you have an RTX 4080, for example, GPU. In a PC, I think it would be much better. I'm actually testing a PC. So how do you go ahead and create this ChatGPT? Well, okay, so I have one that I have installed right here on my local computer, my other Mac, and it has nothing, right? So the way I did it is basically fairly easy. So you go to Ollama here. So this is Ollama. You click on download, and then it gives you the 3 different flavors. It gives you the Mac OS, the Linux, and the Windows. So you can just go ahead and download it, right? So I can download the Mac OS version, right? So there's a question in here. It's from Roxanne Future. He asked, will I be able to run it on one of my work computers? Can you run it on one of your work computers? Yes, you can, if you're allowed to, in terms of your IT, right? So you can run it in any computer, basically. And this is really important because you know what? It is better to run things locally when it comes to privacy. Absolutely, 100%. Instead of sending questions to ChatGPT and Claude or any of those external GPTs that are on the cloud, those AIs, they take all your information, and if they get hacked or something happens, it could be a mess. Right, so it has been proven that I think had ChatGPT. I think a few months ago, somebody was able to get credentials from it, or you don't want to run the risk. So absolutely, you can run it on your own computer. You can run it locally on your computer, and the information doesn't go everywhere. It stays on your computer. So that's a very good question. Will I able to run it on my work computer? Absolutely, 100%. You can run it on your work computer. So I have installed it. So if I go to my applications, you'll see that I have Ollama in my applications here, right there. And I have this little icon on the top that says Ollama, right? So to run it, it's very simple. So you go into your terminal. So this is my terminal, and then I can say Ollama list, and it's going to give you all the, I have no list, so there's nothing in there, right? So I have to install a model. So we're gonna go ahead and install a quick model, something very quick. So for example, 3.2, the new 3.2, and we're going to install the, not that one, not the Vision, but the 3.2 right here, and the 1 billion, so the 1 gigabyte. All you have to do is just copy this text here, right? So they give it to you very easily, and then just paste it on your terminal, and you can run it, and right away it starts to pull the AI into your machine. right? So while I'm doing this, this is a great way to be able to interact with the AI in the terminal. But what we want is actually a UI. Just like ChatGPT, you can go into a UI on the browser. You can absolutely do this on your own as well. So Node.js through the terminal. So you can see that it's downloading success, and then it's now talking to me, right? So I'm going to say, hey, hello, and then it's going to respond, hello, how can I assist you, right? So I have the ChatGPT running, or this GPT, the Llama 3.5 running, or 3.2, sorry, 1 billion running on my system, and I can interact and ask all kinds of questions. So if you don't want to go and get the UI, get the browser driven UI, and you just want to interact with it on your terminal, you can absolutely do that. And let me just quit this, and then if I go back, Ollama list, then it's going to give you the different models that you have downloaded. And just like that, you can go ahead and download any model you want from here, right? So of course, if you, let's say if I go into download Llama 3.2 Vision with 90 billion, so the 55 gigabyte, you have to make sure that you have enough, like a horsepower on your GPU, right? So basically, the way you do it now, like if you want to have the UI working for you, right? So if you want to have something like this, right? So something like this. So now let me just refresh this. If I refresh this, and then you can see that I'm going to be interacting with the Llama 3.2, right? So if I click here and I can say hello, and then it's just going to say hello back. And you can see here that the chat is being saved. This is just like ChatGPT. So how do we get to this? So do we know now that we can install it in your terminal using the Ollama download right here? But how do you run it on a browser? And that's super easy. The first thing that you have to do, of course, is have Docker. It doesn't matter if you have Docker through the terminal or you have the actual app. In my Mac, I do have an app. I have my app here. This is Docker, right? And then you go to web. It's called Open Web UI, right? So if I go to Open Web UI, right here, and let's just go there. It's taking a little while. And in Open Web UI, there is a simple command that you can run to be able to get the entire thing. And I don't know why it's Open Web UI is not working. Let me see. Let me go to the GitHub repository. There you go. Perfect. Okay, there we are. So this is Open Web UI, right? And it's very easy, very seamless. Everything's so good with this. And they have a Docker container. So if I go into down here, there you go. This is how we install it. So you can install it through a pip, so a Python script, right? So you can create an environment, right? Or you can just do a quick installation with your Docker, right? So in terms of the Docker, all you have to do here is just type in this command. That's it. So what you do is you go in here, right? So you go here, right? You install Docker. So this is the Docker. You're not going to have this install of the container, but then you go into the terminal, right? And if you say Docker PS, for example, there it is. It's running in there. I have it running, but you're not going to see anything because there's nothing in there. So what you do is just go and copy this, right? So this command, you copy it, you put it right here on your terminal, right there, and then you run it. As soon as you run it, then it's going to show right here on your desktop. So your Docker desktop, and here all you have to do is just start it. As soon as you're started, it's going to give you the port. So this is port 3000, right? And if you click on it, then it will take you to the model, and then you can start interacting with the model. So once, let's say you turned off the computer, and then you go home, you come back, you turn it on. The first thing that you need to do to get it started again is open up your Ollama right here, right? So I'm using Mac, right? And Windows is the same thing. You just click on Ollama, and then you start your Docker container. You just open it, right? And then start the in the actions, just start the container, and then you run the open UI, and then you get something like this, right? So that's the first thing that you need to do. Perfect. So now that we know how to install it on your computer, fairly easy. This, guys, this is going to take you literally 2 minutes, 5 minutes top to be able to run a model on your computer. That's how easy it is, right? So now how do you download a container that would have, or a model that would be unrestricted, right? Not like the chat GPTs or the clouds of the world. How do you download one? So I have one here. So inside of Ollama, right? So you click on models, right? And then you go to Jim's card. So I'm going to type in Jim's card. This is Jim's card, and he's got a few models here. And this one here is the Black Hat Hacker. It's called Black Hat Hacker, right? So what you do is just copy this text in here, right? And then you click and download it. So let me just do that. And then it's going to start pulling the model into your computer. That's how easy it is. So Ollama makes it very easy for you to just copy the text, right? Click copy, put it on your terminal, and run it. That's how easy it is, guys. Super easy. Once you're done with that, so I'm just going to leave it running here for the meantime. I'm going to go back to my own GPT here. So there's a few things that you can do. So if I click here, right, I see all the models that I'm running. So I'm running Black Hat Hacker, the one that we just showed. This is a 13 billion point. I have Quen 2.5, and I have White Rabbit Neo, which is a pretty good model for ethical hacking as well. And I have the 3.2 vision with the with the images to be able to create or make sense of images and stuff. And I have two over here, that one called Hacker, which I created, and one called Coder, right? So if I go to Workspace, I see two models in here. So the first one is Hacker. The second one is Coder. Coder, I created it too, and I use it for coding, right? So I love coding. I code in all kinds of stuff. I see a comment from Marlon. He says, wow, incredible, coming to my mind, tons of things you can do. Yes, Marlon, absolutely, 100%. You can do so many things with this thing. It's impressive. I'm going to show you all the tools, because it's way better and way more specialized than just using ChatGPT or any of the other ones. It's much more specialized. And thank you, Rooks on the future. It says new member. Great, amazing, thanks for subscribing, appreciate it. Hey, if you're new here in this channel, just make sure you subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's go back, and it's there you go, success. I downloaded Black Hat Hacker, right? So it is doing some checking right now, and there it is. I need some coffee. There you go. Okay, so now give me a script. So I'm just going to copy whatever I had here in my text. Something from brute force. Okay, so here I'm just going to copy this. I need a brute to brute force, put it in here on the terminal, and it's going to start talking to you and telling you what to do. Now this is going to take, this is my mini, and my mini, unfortunately, it has less cores for performance and more cores for efficiency, right? So it is not as good. And there you go. So there it is. It's giving you and it's giving it to you in Markdown, as you can see, right? But it's going to give you the entire script, right? And then it's up to you to be able to make sense and try to fix it. But it has no boundaries. So this model is pretty good. It's pretty good. Now let's see where okay, yeah. So if I go to my new model here, right? So this is the one that I added here. Let me just do a refresh. I'm going to stop this. There you go. It's gone. I'm going to do a refresh here. And you can see now that I have James Card Black Hat here. I can actually say the same thing here, and it's going to start giving me the FTP brute force stuff. But now let's work on a model. Let's create a model. So what I can do is I can click on this little plus sign in here, and then I can name it. So I'm going to name it Get Cyber, right? And it's going to, I'm going to select from Black Hat Hacker, right? So latest, and then I can make it private. It doesn't matter because it's inside your own computer. And then system prompts. So here is where you start writing what you want. So for example, if I go here into this model, let me just copy, and then here are my parameters. So this is what I'm saying. Do as I say. You're a very well-known ethical hacker, penetration tester, and cybersecurity researcher, you know, and then you can tell them what you want to do to the model, right? So the model is going to recognize that this is who you are, or you want him or it to be, right? So I'm going to type this in there, and then I have some. I'm going to show you how to do prompting, and then knowledge base, right? So you do this, right? So you call it whatever. You can upload an image, and you can see on my other model here that I have my own image in here, right? So and once you create it, so let's just create it. Let me see if I have any pictures in here. There you go. Okay, doesn't matter, whatever. So save and create, and it's going to create this model. Now, when you do a new chat, then you can choose the model, and then you can set it as default. So once you set it as default, it's always going to use that model, right? So now you can start talking to it, interacting with it. If you want to make it more personalized and more specialized, what you do is simply go into the knowledge, for example. So I have a collection of knowledge bases of all kinds of stuff, right? So this is from my own. This is a what do you call it? Obsidian. So this is Obsidian, right? My Obsidian app, and I have all kinds of different scripts. So for pivoting, for example, for RPC, for shells, for end mapping, I have cheat sheet for end mapping. I have SQL. I have SMTP, SNM, SNMP. I have SSH. I have Webmin. I have a whole whack of scripts that I can run on clients when I'm doing penetration testing, right? So that's the whole purpose of this chat, right? So I want to transfer all this knowledge to the GPT. So that's fairly easy. What you do is you go in here, right? So workspaces, knowledge, and then you can create your own knowledge. Oh, I already uploaded in here, so I already have it on this GPT. So once you all you do is just add content. Listen, it's so easy. Add content, upload directory, and you can actually upload the entire directory. Right, so it's going to upload everything, not just one file, but you can have all the files in there. Wow, I have another subscriber. So Adi Desai says, you got lifelong subscriber. Love you from India. Love you too, guy. I hope you're doing fantastic. Thank you for joining me from India. So anyways, so what I'm saying is, like, you can load all your cheat sheets, you can put them in here. You can add them to your knowledge base, right? So you add it to the knowledge base, then you go into models, you choose your model in here again, and then down here where it says knowledge, select knowledge, and then you can add the collection in there. So what's going to make it, this is great, because what the ChatGPT or the GPT, the model, is going to do is the first thing that is going to search for is your knowledge base before it goes into the library or the knowledge that the model has. Right. So if you're asking something, the first thing, so this is really good for creating penetration tests for one client. Let's say you have a client and you know the entire network, you know all the devices they have, all the servers or the computers, everything. And then you can create knowledge bases, put it in here, and then the GPT or the model is going to think in terms of that knowledge base that has to do with your client and not everything else. So you make it more specialized. So you choose the knowledge, right? And then you say update. Okay, so that's the first thing. And now when you're working with the GPT, so how to do an SNMP attack, it will give you the scripts based on what your knowledge base plus all the knowledge that it already possesses, right? So that's how it works, right? So now let's go to the next thing, right? So the next thing is I have the knowledge base in here, so all my knowledge, right? So which is pretty impressive. I have so much stuff, and I have a lot of stuff. Hey guys, if you want to join me, you can go into my GitHub as well, and then just follow me, because I have a lot of repositories, right? So I got all kinds of repositories of code that we can that you can use. For example, this Mama Shop, where you can do penetration testing on a vulnerable e-commerce and all of that stuff. Or you can go to Get Cyber. So you get a Cyber. I have a new cool tools. Check this out. I have all kinds of tools that you can use. Let's say the last one that I built is this one here, online checker. So if you click here, then you'll see right away what your IP address is. I'm not going to click because you're going to see my own IP address, but I have all kinds of tools and posts as well. So make sure that you keep, and also, of course, my Discord. So if you go to Discord, you will see that we are here. So we're an entire community here in Discord. So make sure you join us on Discord as well. So that's where you can follow me for more information and for more cool stuff like this. All right, so let's go back to the GPT, right? So the next thing that we want to do is, okay, so you can put all kinds of collections. Right? You can create all kinds of collections, ethical hacking, response. You can do, like a consulting for IT services, IT security. You can do all kinds of stuff in the. Hello. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to this live here. I appreciate that you are here. So you can create all kinds of collections for anything. So if you're working with Windows, for example, and you're doing a lot of PowerShell, you can create a collection just for PowerShell, right? Which is fantastic. And then you can use PowerShell and then make the chat much more efficient for you. So that's the knowledge base. Now let's go into the prompting, right? I have different prompts here. You can create prompts because it's super easy, right? So let's pick one. So this is incident response. I have a incident response responder prompt, and it's called responder. And I want the GPT to act as an incident responder. Okay, it's not just an ethical hacker or a penetration tester, but actually as a incident responder. So when you're chatting with the GPT, then what you can do is you can just backslash in here, and then you can say responder, and then it'll give you the prompt, and then you can start asking the questions. Let's say how to blacklist an IP address, and you just throw it at it, and then it will create the chat for you depending on what you're doing. Right. So depending on the prompt. So I have a few prompts. Let's go back here. I have a few prompts in here. I have a cybersecurity IT auditor, right? So it can give you information about auditing systems. I have a prompt for digital forensics, right? Investigator. So if there is an attack, then how I can conduct an investigation, an analysis. I have one for incident response. So you can actually do incident response. And I have also one as a penetration tester, ethical hacker, which is the one that I use all the time, right? So you can create that as well. So all you do is just go back to your workspace. I'm going back to my Mac here, and then click on create prompt. And I'm going to say, okay, this is going to be incident responder, and the prompt is going to be just responder, I guess, or just incident responder, doesn't matter. You type the information in here. Let's just copy from my other prompts. So let's see here. There you go. And it tells you, it should be 50 words, right? So 50 words or less, right? So I'm adding it here, and then I go back to my model, click on edit, go back down, and then let me see, prompt suggestions. Where is it? Search knowledge tools, filter actions, capabilities. Where is it? I think automatically it adds it already. Let's see if it does. Okay, so if I go here, there it is. Okay, automatically it adds it to the chat. So now I can actually do a prompt and then go on. So this is really good. So every time that I'm dealing with ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT, I have to tell ChatGPT, act as a professional that is involved in penetration testing. I have clients and I have full permission of working with my clients and yada yada yada. I have to do this prompt engineering at the very beginning every time I start a conversation, and then sometimes I forget what I need to say. So that this is really good because you can actually create the prompt and then add to it, optimize it as much as you can, and then just launch it in here by putting in backslash and then the prompt, and never forget, right? So this is why it is so good to have prompts that you can actually build. So that's the next thing that I wanted to show you, the prompts in here. And then my favorite part is the tools. So you can create tools. So I have created a tool in here, and I'll show you in a bit. I have, for example, convert to JSON. So I downloaded this one from there is actually a right here, whole entire community, right? So an entire community of tools that you can create. You have to be careful with the tools. You have to analyze the code on the tools because they might be malicious, right? So because you're doing some pretty, and it tells you, let me see, it doesn't tell you here, but yeah, you should be careful with the tools that you're downloading. And tools are basically just scripts that you can run, right? So for example, I'm running this one tool is called convert to JSON, and all it is just a Python script that's going to take strings and convert them to JSON, right? So you can just throw a whole bunch of strings that you want to convert to JSON, and all it does is just converts it into JSON the way you want it. Because when you're converting into JSON, there's so many ways you can convert into JSON, so many formats. You can add your own format that you want, right? So how many indentation you want, like all of that stuff is already pre-populated for you. So when you go to your chat, you can select here the tool, so it appears here, right? So convert to JSON, for example. So I only have convert to JSON, and then I'm going to use that tool, and I'm going to tell the GPT or the model to convert it to JSON and throw in the string, and then it will automatically convert it to JSON. Just like that, I have other tools in here. So I have, for example, VirusTotal. I created, this is my tool. I created it, and what it does is it takes the IP address and it puts it into your using the token from VirusTotal. So what you can do is just ask the GPT, is this IP malicious? And it's going to go out there and it's going to check whether the IP is malicious or not. All right, so I got a comment in here. Alvin, he says, absolutely amazing. Creating specific tools according to the needs must be the best thing. It is, man. It is. So I've been trying this. Too bad that I have a Mac and my Mac is not as good as I wanted to. I am building. Today is Black Friday, guys. Go out and buy equipment, buy your GPUs, buy your computers, because it's much cheaper today than any other day in the year. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm buying a rig, and I'm going to be running 1 or 2 GPUs on that rig, and I'm going to be able to create all kinds of tools. So I created this tool. I'm not going to show you any more of the tool because I have the token from VirusTotal, my own token from VirusTotal. But you can create your own tools, and then any tools that you want. The knowledge base is a little kind of fuzzy in terms of how to create tools and what works and what doesn't. So I had to tweak it quite a bit. I try to create some brute force attack tools as I try to create some, and it just didn't work. For some reason. So there is certain requirements that you have to have in order to be able to create those tools, right? So that's the only caveat around it. So now I have another one. So this one was easy. I just created a quick string reversal. So just to test it, I said, okay, can you reverse the string? And then, hello world, and then we'll reverse it. So let's see if it does it, if it works or not. I'm going to go here and then string reversal, and can you reverse hello world? And then in quotes, let's see if it does it. Sometimes it doesn't because, again, the GPT needs to have more power to be able to do this. You can ask this type of questions to ChatGPT and automatically will reverse it for you. But the thing that I'm saying is that provided you have a good computer, right? You have a good computer that can actually do this. The tools that you can create are going to be way more sophisticated, right? So that's, keep in mind that now it is kind of clunky, right? It's clunky, and I don't care too much about the tools right now until I do have a better system to show you. So that's the other thing that we can do. And let me see if I'm missing anything here. We have Open Web AI. Let's go back to our tools here. Prompts, knowledge, models. Yeah, so that's it, man. That's it. That's what I wanted to show you. So the first thing, as I said before, is you have to go to Ollama, download it, Ollama right there. I'm going to put a video or a tutorial on my website, Get Cyber. So make sure you go to the website, Get Cyber website. And I'm also going to make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can get this content. The first thing is to go to Ollama, then download, right? So I'm just giving you a quick recap. Download for Linux. Do it right now because it's easy, man. Easy. You have a Windows machine, just download it. Super easy. When you're into Linux, it's a little bit different because, for example, I had to make sure that my GPU was recognized by the Linux system, and that was a pain, right? So if you're doing Linux, you have to know what you're doing. But Windows and Mac OS, super easy. Download the tool, super easy to run. I show you how to do it on the terminal. All you have to do is just, like run the system in there by downloading a model, any model. So for example, if you are a coder, if you are into programming, this one, Qwen 2.5 coder is the best. It's one of the best, right? So all you have to do is just, depending on your system, you can download the 7 billion and then just click in here and then go, and that's it. So just that's pulling my manifest. You can see here, you can download it, and then you're going to be able to chat with your AI model. Now, if you want to go farther and you want to create the UI for it, then just download Docker, right? So Docker Desktop, they have it for Docker. Is very famous, man. If you don't have Docker, you have to download it. So Intel, Mac, Windows, and Linux, you can download it, run it, and then go to OpenUI, Open Web UI, GitHub right here. And then if Ollama is on your computer, use this command. As soon as you do this, then you'll have access to your own AI. I hope you guys had fun. Make sure you subscribe, and I hope to see you next Friday. So next Friday we have a really good show for you. Subscribe to the YouTube, go to Discord, and make sure that you ask your questions in there, and I'm gonna be able to answer as to the best of my ability. And have a fantastic weekend, guys, and see you next time.